What's going on, Kinfolllk? Welcome back. Key to the City podcast. It's your favorite cousin in the building, Keone G. And we back with another episode, man. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting. Whatever you've been doing, liking, sharing, commenting. You ain't have to do it, but you did, and we sure enough appreciate it, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that voted us as a finalist for Best of Jackson, best podcast, best media platform. We brought that thing home in 2020, so hopefully we can do the same thing this year. And I appreciate everybody that's been supporting us, man. So y'all keep doing what you do. And just like with our last episode, this episode is no different. We're going to keep hitting you in the head with quality content, quality guests. And I'm excited about this one. I've been trying to catch my man for a minute. He's been out there doing this thing, and he definitely putting the work in, man. I'm sure y'all done heard of his name by now. He's an up-and-coming crooner with a silky voice that it just captures your attention off bat. And might make your girl second guess why she with you anyway. So look out for him. Currently residing in the ATL, straight out the Hattiesburg, Mississippi, the Bird. And he recently completed his Cyclone tour, which we'll talk more about that. And that Cyclone single is jamming, as is all his projects. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that. And the man also released 52 tracks in a row. I believe that was last year during the height of the pandemic. You talk about grind, man. So that's a song, a track for every week of the year. How many of y'all put in that work right there? Straight monster. So that inspired me out top. And now we finally have him in the city to chop it up with us. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Kinfolllk, welcome to the city. My Kinfolllk, Josh Waters. What's going on, boss?
What's happening, brother, man? I appreciate you having me, bro.
We appreciate you, man. How your day been going?
So far, so smooth, man. I can't complain at all, bro. I'm enjoying my holiday with my jet, bro.
There it is. Oh, you got a little one.
Yeah, I got a 6-year-old. He grown. 6 going on 60, man. If anybody looking for a 6-year-old, he is up for sale right now, man.
Already. I need you to get about 3 more, man. I need you to have 3 more.
Three more.
If I got 4, everybody need 4.
Say less, man. Just give me. I'll get in the race with you. Just give me like 4 years, but I got you.
Oh, I got you. You good. You still a young boy, see?
You know what I'm saying?
You still in the game, so I ain't trying to shut you down just yet. But man, you are so dope, bro. We love to give our artists their flowers while they're here. That's why you getting the key to the city. Wish we could have did it in person, but it's all good. I'm sure we'll link up in the future, man. But we just want to find out more about you, bro. First of all, how long have you been singing professionally? Did you come from a musical background?
I did come from a musical background. This question is always interesting to me. I feel like every interview I low-key give them something different, but I've been doing it. I was signed to an independent label back in high school, man, and I'm talking like 16, 17. Like if you could YouTube Josh Waters, Beautiful Love, these same locks like up above my ear type of thing. And that's really where development start. And so I kind of count that. Kind of not, if we count that, let's say 10 years. I usually like to start with where I dropped out of college and really like dug in for real. And this was the only thing that I was doing. So I say like 6 years, bro.
Cool. I caught that in your music too when you dropped out of school to pursue it, the music full time. What was your classification at the time when you dropped out?
I was a sophomore. So I did my freshman year. I came back and did the fall of my sophomore year and just didn't come back that spring semester.
Love it, man. I love when people chase their dreams, and college gonna always be there. So I'm glad.
Straight up.
Yeah. So I'm glad you did it, man, because we definitely need this music. Who are some of the artists that you looked up to when you was coming up or that inspire you now?
Coming up, man, my mama was a neo soul head, bro. So in my house, neo soul and gospel. So she was playing a lot of music, Soul Child, you know, your Ericas, your Jills, your Joes and Tanks. That was heavy, you know what I mean? And most gospel music in Southern Black household, that's what it was. And we'd go to my grandmother's house. My cousins was playing like, you know, Southern hip hop, UGK, Outkast, which was what I gravitated towards the most. Your Big Crits, man. Big Crit low key raised me.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? When Crit came out, I was in like the 9th grade. When I say he raised me, I mean musically from his music.
Okay.
So that's that's my old school. You familiar with Miss Smurf?
Miss Smurf, well, I know the name.
She was a rapper back in 05. She had the Eat It Anyway single. She went to Jackson State. She was popping about that at the time, bro.
I know I heard today. Yeah.
All right. So Smurf, bro, that's my first cousin. So when I was a jit, she had me running in behind her. She would be rapping and stuff like that, you know, bring me to the studio and things of that nature. My mom was a vocalist and my older brother was a musician. So I was just always around it. That's kind of how I got to start.
Dope. So the relationship with Crit, like, cause y'all got a track together, right?
We don't have a track together, but we have one. I have a track that he produced and wrote on. Like he wrote the chorus to it and he produced the record.
And your producer, is that Willpower?
Yeah,
He has a relationship with Crit as well, right?
correct.
Okay. And it's Smoke Dizzer.
Yep, that's the homie.
Yeah. Cause I heard those tracks. I was like, man, this boy really on his shit. So
Yeah, nah. Go ahead.
now I was just wanting to find out more about Bandwidth, the label, and all the talent that's associated with the label.
Man, so Bandwidth is like this creative, it's a production entity, but it's like this creative hub. Obviously, like you said, Willpower, he's the owner and
Mm-hmm.
executive. He he's most known for being a producer for Yellow Wolf. I don't know if you're a Yellow Wolf fan, but that whole Pop the Trunk era, that whole
Mm-hmm.
love story joint, that was all Willpower, his production.
Wow.
Um, he also, you know, he did Wiz Khalifa. He co-executively produced Forever's a Mighty Long Time with Big Crit. That's how I met him actually.
Okay.
So Crit had invited us pretty much to a session. Willpower just so happened to be there, working as a producer. And that record that you're talking about with Smoke Dizza, This Fire, that was my first single. And it was supposed to actually be another rapper on it. We ended up paying a band for it at the time. They
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't send us the right files. And Crit was at the time, he was just like, don't even trip. I'm going to just get Dizza to do it. And Dizza did. So I was playing that record in that session that day. And Willpower, he didn't think nothing of it because I wasn't there for him. I was there, you know, with Crit, and Willpower was there to do a job. So
Mm-hmm.
on that day though, bro, I heard Willpower and Big Crit talking about opening up a studio, or Willpower more so was talking about opening up a studio. This 2 years prior to me actually going as a client, you feel me? So fast forward 2 years, I don't see Willpower in the city or nothing like that. But I'm looking for a studio to start working on my Honey project, and I was just over the like trap scene of Atlanta. Like I make R&B music, so I was tired of, you go to the certain studios out here, it's like it's a trap house, crazy.
Right.
So it's like I need a different energy, man. And I
Yeah.
put up a post like, where can I go? And Cortland Liddell, who's actually from Jackson, Mississippi, he responded, was like, and had a different name at the time, but he was like, you should go holler at Willpower in them. And I'm like, dang, bro, did say he was gonna start, you know, working on the studio. So I just started booking them, my manager and I. We had like a little budget, and we was just consistent. In our mind, we was
Mm-hmm.
like, if we can book here in a way that makes them notice us, then we can just have that conversation. You know, dudes, brothers from Mississippi, ultimately, we just need the opportunity to work. We don't need
Right.
handouts. I just need the opportunity
Facts.
to be put into play so that I can work. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so that's ultimately how it took place. The engineer, Shay Renaissance, he kept going back telling Willpower, like, yo, it's this young kid in here who you need to know about. And I ran into Will, and he kind of gave me that double took, like, don't I know you? I'm like, yes. He's like, you ain't signed a Crit? And I'm like, nah. He was like, let's have a meeting. And he asked me and my manager, like, what y'all need? And my manager and I, we looked at each other simultaneously and looked back at him. We was just like, bro, guidance. And he was kind of taken
Mm.
aback by the answer. And from that point on, that's what we've been doing. And so Bandwidth is a hub that houses artists like that. So you find artists like myself who are
Mm.
already doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you develop them. I did a 6-month program, development program with Bandwidth, where I quit my job. It's a gym there. It's a trainer, the whole nine. So all day around
Damn.
the clock, you come. I would come to the studio at 10 in the morning, work out with the personal trainer, jump in the shower at the studio, get right in with the vocal coaches, artist development coach for performance prep. Come out of that, eat, jump right in the studio at 3 o'clock, and you would just work from 3 p.m. until the divide was gone. You know what I'm saying? So you do that every day, 6 days out of 7 for 6 months straight. It just kind of creates this lifestyle of,
Mm.
you know, overachievements, I guess.
Man, that's dope as hell. Because I know a lot of labels don't focus on artist development these days.
Nah, not at all.
They just throw you out there to the wolves. And
Yeah.
shout out Dollar Black. He a part of the team, right?
What?
That's my guy.
Shout out Dollar Black. Shout out Run, man. So yeah, I highlight all of the key components right now. Like I say, you got Willpower, you got Tessa, you got John Griggs, you got Shay Renaissance, Dollar Black, Ronnie DJ, Jay Z, Hood Music Beats, Misha Fair. And if I'm leaving anybody out there, watch this.
Mm.
Don't beat me up. But we're a real
Right.
family, man. Yeah, it's a lot of
That's
Mississippi folks in there.
And speaking of Mississippi, man, I always ask my Mississippi artists this, and
Yeah.
you are the perfect cat that I can ask for this. It's always talked about in the city, man. Yeah, if you want to break, cuz you got to leave Jackson, man. You got to go to the A,
Yeah.
cuz, or
Yeah.
LA or anywhere like that.
Yeah.
Was that your thought process when you moved to the A, or do you feel like you could have built the same foundation here, or it just made more sense to go to the A?
Man, if I'm being 100% honest with you, bro, I knew, like I told you, I was signed to that independent in high school. My mom was letting me skip school and drive to Atlanta as a 17-year-old, bro. So
Wow.
in high school, I already knew like I want to leave. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That was already when I went to Alcorn. It was because I had a full scholarship, and I also did want to play in the marching band. You know how big band is
Mm-hmm.
back home in Mississippi and Louisiana. So it was like once you get to Alcorn to Jackson State, that is professional. And so I wanted that experience also. But once I checked that off my list and like was the section leader of the drum line and stuff, I was like, okay, I'm good on this experience. I came to college knowing I didn't care to complete it.
Right.
So for me, it was always like, let me just get out of high school, go do this whole band thing, then I'm out type of thing. And so to answer your question from a more realistic space, I definitely felt like I had to leave Mississippi in order to achieve the things that I'm doing now. And the reason I say that is especially, bro, we talking 2014, 2015. So there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a real platform to support music. We always had platforms there that were doing the best that they could, whatever the case may be. But it was like I would hit a ceiling, and I felt like I didn't leave Mississippi until I hit my ceiling. Like
Mm-hmm.
once I got the support of Hattiesburg, once I felt like I can come do a show in Jackson with a dollar or a Dev Mac and start really, you know what I'm saying? People started greeting me as Josh Waters, the artist, and not just the homie or whatever. It was like,
Right.
all right, cool, it's time for me to go. And that's never a slight to home. It's just, it was me being able to recognize and realize if I want more, then I have to go and acquire more information. Even if I do
Mm-hmm.
make the decision to come back, but I knew it was going to take me leaving for me to get access to that.
So is the difference just really like more resources that you have access to?
Man, so you know what? Yes, and I'm gonna put it like this. This is probably the deepest I done went on an interview with this answer to this question. There isn't enough. There isn't enough economic backing to
There you
back
go.
music in
Mm.
Mississippi, bro. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So it's like realistically, when I have these conversations with people, it's always surface level, and most of the time they don't understand this. Like it be a pride thing about being home, and it's like, bro, I love Mississippi, but it ain't no money to support what I'm trying to do. And
Mm.
so I had to come when you come to Atlanta, everybody got money. It's black people that ain't never done music and they got old money. So that alone changes your perspective on just how the dollar circulates and how
Right.
it works. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
And so once you get a better understanding of how the music business work, it's like it's not a Jackson thing or a Hattiesburg or the coast thing. Mississippi economically, there's not enough going on to support what's required to support
Mm.
artists, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
realistically
I
in
feel
that
you.
state. So it's like what we gonna do shows at? We gonna everybody gonna come do them at Howlin' Miles? We don't even have enough venues. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's like, is Howlin'
Facts.
Miles the peak? What venue do you
Mm-hmm.
go to after Howlin' Miles? What window is it before you go to the Coliseum? Because
Right.
there's venues in Atlanta that make sense before getting to a Coliseum
Mm-hmm.
space. There's other events and things going on to surround the support and push of an artist getting from one level to the next versus Mississippi. Like I say, it's like, bro, we just don't have the economic resources to really support what most artists need to successfully sustain a career, bro.
And I kind of see you familiar with Akeem Ali?
Yep, I just talked to him last week actually.
I
Yeah.
kind of see him in the same boat as you. Like he been had the talent, been had the skill, and then when he went there, he just took it to another level. And I argue with my counterparts all the time. Like if an artist from Mississippi wanted to go on a press run, where would he go?
Real
WLBT
talk.
or
Real talk.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I think I know now they're slowly building up these platforms, these digital platforms.
Yeah.
But we all knew. But I'm hoping like 5, 7 years from now, we can have some kind of momentum going to where home artists can feel like they can come home and do a press run and do a show and
Nah, straight up,
get back to
bro.
the money.
Honest to God, that's why I never. If a person DM me, I don't say no to nobody really. I don't care how many followers the platform have
Okay.
because just like with artists, when
Mm-hmm.
when interviewers or people in general, let's not make it about interviewers. When
Yeah.
people are talking to artists, they never know if that artist is the one that's gonna be the one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you belittle them you know what I'm saying, when you meet them where nobody knows them, and then 2 years from now they end up being the next biggest thing. I feel the same way about platforms when it comes to podcasts or anything with
Facts.
anybody. So
Speak,
it's like
speak. Yeah.
this could be the next Breakfast Club, and I ain't gonna be the artist that shitted on them when they only had 200
Mm-hmm.
followers, because those 200 people still could be 200 folks that don't know about what it is that I got going on.
Facts.
So I always try to do that, but the thing is, bro, infrastructure. We
Mm-hmm.
missing. Just to go back to the question, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
we're also lacking the understanding and knowledge of how this business really works.
Mm-hmm.
And then the infrastructure to effectively maintain it. Like
Right.
for a platform from Mississippi to break, I hate to say this, but after you do an interview, if you go of a list down the top 10 artists in Mississippi, bro, and this ain't no slight to nobody who might say this. If I don't know you, I don't even do name calling, right? Let's not do that, because
All
niggas,
right.
let's not do that.
Be at your head.
But you feel me? It's like, how high can you go on a total poll? Who would you like to interview to break your podcast?
Mm.
Because it doesn't get any bigger than Sway Lee and them right now from
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi. Then you're gonna do what? David Banner, Big Crit. It's like you would even have to go interview artists outside of this to bring about awareness from other places, so that when you do have artists from Mississippi on here, they getting more eyes than just they homies who they could have just recorded
Facts.
this shit and
Yeah.
sent it to. So it's like we
Right.
kind of got to learn how to work in conjunction to share these resources so that it makes sense to be able to be a platform where artists can be broken off. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
I'm so glad you said that, man. You are hit the nail on the head, bro. You are on point with everything you just said. I couldn't add nothing to that. And that's exactly what we need. And I'm glad you mentioned the because I just shoot my shot when it comes to artists.
Yeah.
Try to have them on the platform. So somebody like you with a significant following, somebody like Calvin Richardson, I would always thought these guys would turn me down, but y'all been the most receptive, most open. Now, most of the time, most people don't even give a damn. They don't even check the DM, but it's all good.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna shoot my shot, and then you never know who gonna bite. So
Straight up, bro.
you right about that,
Shout
bro.
out to Shout out to Calvin Richardson, bro. He gave me my first shot when I was 16, opening up for him in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, man. So
What?
that's crazy. Shout out to Calvin, bro. For real, for real.
That's dope, man. He's you the second person I heard say that. Stephanie Look said he gave her an opportunity as well. So I love to
Yeah,
hear that,
bro.
man.
It was my first paid gig as a kid. They paid me like $160, dog. I'll never forget it.
You were hype as hell.
What? Come on, man.
All right, let's talk about some music, dog.
Yes, sir.
Man, I don't know where to start. I hate comparing artists to other artists. Uh, about I struggle coming up with somebody to compare you to because you're just so different, man. And the sound, I just roll me up one, man, and let the window down and just blow, man. And you just
Look,
vibe, bro. What's the purpose behind the card themes with the project?
man, that shit is just divinity, bro. I just was telling somebody, I'm like, you know what? I'm about to stop trying to make that shit sound so. It's divinity, bro. It was a part of my development process, man. I had made a whole lot of music in that 6 month span, and then we continued after the development process. And remind me to go into investing in yourself as an artist, because I
All
keep
right.
talking about the development, but we paid for that, bro. Like we paid for that. So
Wow.
there's that. But at the end of that development process, we had so much music. Willpower did. We didn't feel like we had necessarily a sound to put out an album, but we could not put these records out.
Mm-hmm.
And so what ended up happening, we probably started 2020 with about 25, 30 records. He was like, bro, we putting out a song every week. He came in about October, November and made that decision. And me being how I am, like I'm an athlete, first. So I was just like that. We putting out a song a week. And once we started doing that, we started running out of songs. We started realizing like, oh shit, because you got to have content to go with these records of photos. If it's a song every
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, every song had to have content, photos, support details around it every week, man. So it turned into something very, 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 very strenuous, bro. But what it boiled down to was, at the time, one of my marketing people, they was like, bro, it's 52 cars in the deck. And we
I
all was
just
like,
got that shit right now.
we just like, what the hell? So it kind of just started lining up on its own, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then me on the side of spirituality, I'm like, 52, 5 plus 2 is 7, the number of completion. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and then as we started getting more into it, we started really finding other meanings in the suits. But ultimately what we did was a song a week. You know, it's 4 quarters in the music industry, 4 suits in a card deck. So we knew it was gonna be a lot of music to digest.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, none of these songs were meant to blow me up. It was just meant to develop me, and it was
Wow.
our ways of getting into stock. We knew that we put out these records, it would create leverage when we go have these meetings with these labels and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It's like, because we got a catalog. So if one song catch, it's only a matter of time before they go back and start to move the numbers on these other records that we already got pre-existing. So that's really how that junk came about. The Heart Suit was at the top of the year. You got Valentine's Day is cold. We wanted to put records that would pull on your heartstrings. The Spade Suit was me knowing that I couldn't give you 52 sad songs. So it's a spade. You don't know what it's going to be, a wild card. I
Right.
started trying new sounds and new rhythms, new cadences. And then the club, we felt like those records were records that could fit in like a brunch space or a club space in the slower hours. And then the diamond suit was just where the pressure came about. People started leaving the team, things of that nature. And so those records are a bit more like triumphant, so to speak. But yeah.
Man, that's wild that all these songs were created in the development stage because you sound like a established artist with years of experience behind them, and you already got one. If they go back and looking for other singles, man, I always think I'm an A&R in my head, bro. I swear to God. And I'm
Love.
girl, you a vibe, one of
Hey,
a
that's what you was playing when
kind.
I hopped on here. That's
Got
what you was
me,
rocking.
boy. That shit, I done played that bitch every which way.
Nah, that's the love, bro.
That junk jamming, man. And then so it kind of made me like after listening to all the projects, like it almost seemed like with Cyclone, you wanted to show your range, or it
Yeah,
seemed like a different style for you. Give us a little background on Cyclone.
man. So Cyclone, bro, or just the entire musical space, man. I speak on the change in general because I'm getting ready to release another song in January, and I can say that it's left of Cyclone, like they can't stand in the same room type of thing. But
Mm-hmm.
so what happened was after doing those 52 records, the question of like, what do we do now? What does an artist do after putting out 52 records? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So Willpower felt like I was developed enough for his expertise of creating an album. We can go into this mode. So the top of the
Mm-hmm.
year, that's what we did. Early February, late January, early February, we jumped into album mode. And I went to LA for the first time, bro, in March. And
Love LA.
shit changed my life forever, bro. Changed my life forever. When we went, we had about 8 or 9 records of what we thought the album was about to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you familiar with the producer Malay?
Uh-uh.
Malay, he Frank Ocean. Familiar with Frank Ocean?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Channel Orange and Frank Ocean. That's
Mm-hmm.
Malay and Frank Ocean. Malay is the
Wow.
producer. So he did like Green Light by John Legend. You know what I'm saying? His discography is crazy, bro. But so we go to LA and we working with him and we playing on the records. He like, man, we're gonna do something different. And so he pulled me out of the booth while I'm recording the record. He's like, bro, you can sing exceptionally well, but nobody cares. And I'm like, what,
Mm.
nigga? He's like, man, don't nobody. he like nobody cares. He names 2 artists, bro, and he was like, I've worked with both of these artists. Which one do you want to be? And I won't say their names, but he was like, one
Mm-hmm.
can sing circles around the other, but the other understood songs. The other understood
Mm.
entertainment, and the other one is still putting out songs, and the other one is not. You can't
Mm.
name 5 records from the other one. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, damn. That was when I realized that, like I was telling you about Mississippi, that even R&B music has a ceiling to it. And I was like, how do I remove this ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
How do I remove this ceiling, man? And so that session was when we basically scrapped all 8 or 9 songs that we thought was going to be my album. And the song we made that night was the start of it. And Cyclone was just a spinoff of me trying different things. And once we started to find the glue, like this stuck to our ribs, we would just keep them. And that's kind of how we got this one. Yeah,
What's
trying something new.
what's the creative process behind a song like Cyclone? Like you said, it was inspired by heartbreak, right?
Yep.
You should have just made a diss record, nigga. But
Nah.
what?
That's funny. That's funny.
But like, what goes into the process of creating that album as far as arrangement, writing,
Yeah. Yeah.
all that?
So man, Willpower, which is crazy because I've been with him for almost 3 years now, and in album mode was the first time that I was able to see like why he was Willpower outside of every other reason he has sold me on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen him make beats in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they go type shit. But like for the album, man, we just went to this completely different space. It required something different from me. My lifestyle had to change. What I was eating had to change. How I was
What?
all this shit, bruh. We went in, and he was telling me before the album, I was like, you ain't ready, and I never understood it.
Mm.
But once we locked into a space, a frequency for the album, we kept that frequency until the end of the album. But it took like 5 months. We didn't get well. We got March was the first song that we made, like going to LA, but we didn't get back into that groove for real until like 5 or 6 months of making the album,
Mm-hmm.
not being in LA and having to use the energy here in Atlanta versus that shit is so tropical and you know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like
Yeah.
so it takes being in a certain headspace and everybody being in alignment, bro, for us all to lock in
Mm-hmm.
and be in conjunction on what it is that we're trying to do, bro. So making this album required that. As far as writing go, man, I'm a person who actually I enjoy working with other writers. I'm a
Okay.
writer, but I enjoy writing my music with other people because this is my third time bringing up a ceiling. I'm a person who fears not emptying a clip, and when I say that, meaning
Mm-hmm.
I'm wise enough to know that I can say this like this, but if I have a conversation with this person through dialogue, we might be provided with a different perspective or a better way to say what before this conversation. I could only say it like this.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I enjoy bringing in other writers and bouncing perspectives and just concept off of different people. So there's that. I got my favorite writers who I'm like, get them three niggas down here so
Mm-hmm.
we can do this. Uh, so it was that, man, and just like I say, tapping into a real frequency and sticking to that, no matter what's going on around us. That's how we got the music that's on that hard drive right now.
That's smart as hell, bro. Y'all make a great team. Key to the City podcast. We got my Kinfolllk, Josh Waters in the building. A couple more questions for you, dog. So
Yes, sir.
you just embarked on the Cyclone tour, finished that up.
Yep.
Was this your first headlining tour?
Yes. Me and my manager before getting signed to Bandwidth, we did like you know how the Chitlin circuit go, man. Shout out to my brother D Horton. We did like
D
the Honey
Hort.
tour, going to different places. Hell yeah, real nigga, bro. But
Mm-hmm.
going to different places, spot dates, linking up with different artists, doing things. But this was my first real headlining, like we on the van type of thing. 2 weeks out on the road, niggas
Yeah,
snuggled up in hotels and things. So
yeah.
yeah,
How was the experience, man? As far as the
bruh.
reception you got, what was the latest city?
Oh man, that's a sticky question, dog.
I know y'all
That's
hate
tough.
to separate the cities.
You know what I'm saying? Because when they watch it, it's like, well, bruh.
Yeah. Don't do it, bro.
uh,
Don't do it. They was all
I
lit.
appreciate it. Everybody was lit. Exactly, man. Nah, Jackson showed hella love, man. I got him to do it right. Jackson, Atlanta, and Raleigh, bro. Those
Mm-hmm.
three, top
Okay.
three for sure.
Did
Yeah.
you get to do one in Hattiesburg?
I didn't, man. I actually just
Mm.
got cussed out about that yesterday, but nah, I didn't.
And no groupie stories or none of that.
I'm scared to tell it,
This ain't the
man.
platform for that, man. Don't be
This ain't
talking about.
that, bro. Cause she gonna watch this shit. She gonna watch this interview.
No, just fucking with you. See, that's why I'm working on a different platform now, so I can talk about stuff like that.
Hey, come on, bro.
But
Y'all almost threw me under the bus.
yeah, bro, I wouldn't do it like that. 2022 right around the corner, man. I'm
Yes,
excited
sir.
for you, brother. Are we getting an album? Is it in secret? Oh, before you answer that, what do y'all do with the songs that y'all scrap? I always wondered that.
I'm a writer, so I don't scrap shit. If I can't use it, somebody else can. So
Mm,
whenever I'm in a space to write for other artists, uh, in certain cases they already have this like thing that they trying to say, and in some cases it's like they don't know what the fuck they want to say,
right.
and so I have these records to play as references now. So it's like, shit, you want this type of thing. So I don't scrap nothing.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
you didn't do a visual for each track in the car
nah.
suit yet. Okay.
Okay.
So an album or no?
Yes, it's already done. The bow on it. We just trying to decide if we want to put features on it or not. It's been done
Mm.
though since it's been done since August, bro.
I noticed that too. You don't do a lot of features. You kind of
Nope.
like hold your own weight. That's
Man,
by
I work too
choice.
hard. I'm gonna be real,
Ah,
bro. Like this, my take on features. Not to be J. Cole about it, not to be cocky or none of that shit. Just being humble and being real. It's
mhm.
like it's easy to get a feature with Josh Waters. Just call man, how much you charge for a feature? 1,500. That ain't nothing.
Mhm.
If you in the game and really understand it, right? But to some people, it's like, what, bro? Or the love, man. I thought we were showing. Hell no.
Yeah.
Then you go to McDonald's and tell them that.
Right. I
So
hate
it's
that.
like, nah, bro. And but that's what it boiled down to. Cause I'm down to work with anybody, bro. As far as me being the one reaching out, trying to work with everybody, I like I say, I work too hard. And it's like
Mhm.
features gotta make sense to me, bro. It's like, what's the point? Is it you wanting a piece of my fan base or me wanting a piece of yours? Or do we actually fuck with each other and we doing this because it's a genuine exchange? That's the
Mm.
only two reasons we need to be making songs together. There's no other point. Like I'm not the person who want to work with you just because you hot. Fuck that. I'm gonna keep working until I'm
Mm.
hot enough to be the person that's being sought after because I'm that
Respect.
hot. You
Yeah.
feel me? So it's
Mhm.
like until then, man, I don't have enough genuine relationship in the industry to have features on my shit. So
I love it. Keeping it raw. 100. I love it. Keep it authentic, my boy. And
yeah.
last but not least, you said you want to speak on artists investing in themselves. What do you think about people that pay to be on like showcases, and is that you
Man,
consider?
I think it's important. I did it, so I don't think it's important just because I had to do it. I think it depends on what side of the gate or what side of the street you have to walk on to get into the game, if that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Um, so I always use my partner, man, the money. He is a good friend of mine.
Shout
He
out to
has
Money.
son.
Yeah.
Shout out to money, dog. When I moved to Atlanta, he was one of the ones who were instantly like, "What? Come on, bro." But with the money, I watched the money work as an individual. But
Mm-hmm.
even as an individual, it's like he's still Ti's son.
Mm.
So if his starting point is off the top different from others
There
who
you go. Yeah.
decide that they want to start doing music, this isn't to discredit or slight the work he
Right.
does. It's to highlight the fact that I see him actually, even with those resources, he doesn't take anything for granted and he really goes out and create a name for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But
Right.
there's no reason for him to ever pay to do a showcase,
Makes
if that
sense.
makes sense.
Makes
You know
perfect
what I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it all depends on your starting point and what's surrounding the person. But bro, if you having to get it out the mud and create a real name for yourself, by all means, if that's a requirement, paying to get on that stage, if that's your first, that's how you get your first performance. Do what you got to do,
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, bro. So I get it as long as it makes sense.
Real talk, bro. Hey, man, you an intelligent brother, man. You speaking nothing but facts and talking your talk, man, and walking your walk. And we love to see it, King. You keep doing
I
your thing,
appreciate
man.
it.
It was more than an honor
Respect,
to
bro.
have you on the platform, and hopefully we can bump into each other in person in the future. I'm sure I'll be out in the A at some point this year, because I'm trying to hustle this podcast like you do the music, my boy.
Nah, for
Uh,
sure.
what's how can my audience keep up with you, follow you, check you out, purchase your music,
Yep.
all that?
On all social media platforms, man, it's Josh Waters Music. No crazy spellings. Josh Waters, Waters, man. And if you want to get real personal, you can text me at 218-353-5965. And my music is available on all streaming platforms, man. It's
There it
Josh Waters.
is, man. Y'all make sure y'all support this King, Josh Waters. He flow just
Love,
like it.
man.
You hear me? This has been another episode of Key to the City podcast. I'm your Kinfolllk, Keone G. He is our country cousin, Josh Waters, man. Y'all support this brother, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace, love, blessings. We out.
Love, bro.